What's up, everyone? So this weekend is Argent Saga Championship 6. It's going to take place in Las Vegas, and usually whenever these championships come around, I tend to make a video about some decks you could expect to see, maybe some good side deck choices, things of that nature. So we're just going to go over that today. Sadly, this event's not going to be streamed, but since the community is pretty tight-knit, I'm sure we're going to be getting some updates throughout the weekend from certain players that are there. So look forward to that. But for today, I just wanted to go over some of the decks we're going to expect to see and maybe some cards that could impact the meta going forward. So let's get into it. So since our last Argent Saga Championship, we've actually had two new products come out. The first one was Expansion Pack 3, which is Convictions. Has a lot of good cards in it, and we're probably going to reference some at the end of this video for side deck choices. And then the other product was the LGS pack, where the main card in there was Tux, which is the new spirit, and we'll touch on him just in a little bit. But for decks that we're expecting to see that can take advantage of some of those products that actually came out since the last championship, one of them is Liam Kite, and they get a card called Vi Matron of Miracles, which allows you to abuse tokens even more, and Liam is your prime champion to abuse Repro. So now that you have another card that abuses Repro tokens, it just adds more power to Liam Kite. Kite is utilized to search out your power cards with things like Vabriel's Final Gift, and then it utilizes the other green cards as protection of your power cards, such as Guiding Winds and also Omega Magic Kaze. So with that being said, you're going to see plenty of Liam Kite decks this weekend if you go to play, for sure. He's still a very strong choice, and he got even more power with Vi Matron of Miracles. So another deck you can expect to see a lot of is Jamal Sola. It's this meta's premier control deck. It's also used as the biggest counter to Liam Kite. They have a lot of very good utility blue spells to take care of tokens for low cost, other blue spells to take care of Repro, clear him early, and then also utilize Jamal's abilities to pretty much keep its hand size strong, and then hopefully get to the late game to drop things like Juggernaut and Mayu, and then just control from there. This deck also utilizes the light package to run additional field wipes, something like Finishing Ray, to take care of big boards as well. So it's just a great control deck all around, and you should expect to see a lot of it. So another champion you can expect to see this weekend is Argent. He's going to be paired with Corona or Fizzy. Those are the two decks that actually top back at Fort Worth. Argent Corona got second place, and then Argent Fizzy, I think, topped 8. But two different kinds of strategies. Argent Corona is more of an aggro strategy. It utilizes the Blazewalkers in tandem with the offering ability from cards like Hoenna or Shade of the Silver King to really put a lot of pressure on your opponent. And then Argent Fizzy is more of a control deck. It utilizes cards like Juggernaut or Mayu to really control the game late game, and if your opponent clears them, you can just put it right back on top with Argent's ability. So those are the two Argent strategies that we've seen so far in the meta before those two new products. All of the decks that I've gone over so far were already solidified in the meta. Now with that being said, we did get a new card, which is going to shake up the Las Vegas meta a little bit. So let's talk about him for a second. So that card is none other than Tux, the Emperor's Spirit. I've made a video on this card alone talking about how good it is. Now, I think you're going to see Tux make a splash in this meta with the champions Liam and then also Argent, which are two very powerful champions, as we've already gone over. But he's also going to make a splash with Hoenna, I think. I think Hoenna is going to make a little bit of a comeback. It's got some good interaction. We've seen a second-place deck from a regional. Aaron McGinnis talked with that. That's also on the channel here. He guest uploaded it. So if you want to hear some of his reasonings behind his card choices, I suggest you go check that out after you watch this video. But Tux is definitely going to make a splash. I'm expecting him to take up at least 30% of the top 8 cut. And I think it's going to be within those Liam, Argent, or Hoenna decks. I think Hoenna is the dark horse for sure. So that's kind of up in the air if she tops. But Argent and Liam, I think, are definitely going to make it in the top 8, at least one apiece. So now that we've gone over the decks that you can expect to see at this championship, let's talk about some side deck options that you could have, especially if you're not maining these cards. Now we know Repro is going to be in abundance at this event, He's going to be generating a lot of tokens and going to try and kill you quick. You're also going to have some big bombs like Juggernaut or Mayu that you definitely want to clear. Maybe some Great Behemoth, Shade of the Silver King, all of those apply. So you want to run some mass board wipes. One of the best ones in the game right now is Finishing Ray for sure. They can be utilized in white, takes care of everything for a cost of 4, which is actually pretty low for such a powerful ability. So if you're running some kind of white spirit or champion, you should definitely be utilizing this card. I think this is a no-brainer. You also have options like Ghostly Demise if you're running any kind of dark support. It's a great option for a field wipe, especially for tokens, because you don't even need to utilize the offering ability. But that offering ability can also be beneficial sometimes if you're running something like Aragon Corona and you want to banish some Blazewalkers, maybe like Blazewalker Lee, to get an additional draw. So that's always nice if you don't main that card. And then red has an option in Phoenix Flame Strike, which I utilized in my Rain Sola deck. I thought it was a great field wipe to take care of a Repper Bloom board, and it served me very well in the side deck, but I would 100% main it for this event. So mass board wipes are definitely the first one. So other general cards that you want to look for in your side deck are cards with quickness. Now, the reason I say this is obviously because of Tux. Tux has that stun ability, which pretty much buys your opponent a full turn of no attacks and also blocks, but it only affects cards that are on the field. So if your opponent is playing Tux as their spirit, you're definitely going to want to have some cards in the side deck with quickness to get around this ability. The first one is obviously Silver Watchwoman. I mean, this is a clear favorite to be in the side deck. It's a great card all around. 4 cost, being able to add quickness and target attack or preventing any damage is great. And it can be run in any side deck because it's an Argent card. The other card, which actually hasn't seen a whole lot of play, is Twilight Knight. I think this card is going to find its way into side decks. It's a great option right now. Being able to have the Destroyer ability and then also being able to gain quickness is very nice. You can proc this by destroying your own Guardian units. So if you're utilizing maybe Golem of Devourment, something like that in a Hoenna build, because I do think Hoenna is going to be playable, I think this is a very nice card to side deck for sure to get around Tux and then also sneak in 2 Tower Destroys. And then if you're also happening to play any kind of red, you can also have the option to run Roe Wyvern Rider. Same cost as Silver Watchwoman, and it does gain quickness. Now, you're going to have less attack, but one of the added benefits is his Ruined ability. So even if he's already on the field and your opponent stuns him, you also have a way to get another body on board, which is destroying him and then getting a token. So that's another option, especially if you're running red. So another nice option to side in against aggro strategies is Shard Spider. This came out in Convictions, which was the 3rd expansion. So basically, if your opponent has less towers destroyed than you and they control more monsters, you get to play this card for free. And whenever it arrives, it exhausts a target unit and it doesn't untap during the next charge phase. So it can really slow some things down and you get to play it for free. So it's a very nice card for some aggro strategies if you come across them. So a color-specific card, if you end up going up against a blue strategy, Silver Mist Phoenix is a very nice card to side in against that. It can't be targeted by spells, and it also replaces itself if it's in your discard zone. You can pay 2, and then you bring out another one. So this is a nice card to have in the side, especially if your blue matchup is a little tougher than your other ones. And the last card is Bone Scavenger, actually. This card's been falling out of favor a little bit for the main deck because it's not really good against Liam and it's not really good against Jamal. But it is pretty good against Aragon Corona and Aragon Fizzy, Aragon Tux, all of those. So if you're not maining Bone Scavenger, you should definitely be side decking it. But hey, that's all I got, guys. If you're participating in the event this weekend, good luck to you. I hope you do very well. I'm going to be paying attention, looking for updates from anyone who attended the event for sure. And I'm just really hoping that it's a decent turnout. I don't expect it to be too high because it's during a con, so you had to pay additional fees and things like that. But I'm still very excited to see what tops. And then, after this event, we can just look forward to Ascension. But anyway, as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Zeppelin out.